Ladies and gentlemen, what episode of R.C.W. Top 10? We are here to count down another R.C.W. Top 10 because we all know that's what you came here for. So, this week we're going to be counting down the top 10 R.C.W. people you might not have known were world champions. Side note, mostly if you're new and you joined maybe a little after June or sometime this summer when a lot of people probably joined because they got, time. But that doesn't change it. Anyway, it's just a bunch of people that did accomplish world championships, whether one or many, that you may not have known were a world champion because they don't mention it, because it was so long ago, or just because it was such a short reign. Nothing rude or intentional, because pretty much every single person who's ever won a world championship did something impressive to get it. You get my point. Everyone did good. Anyway, let's get to number 10. Coming in at number 10, this will come to maybe a surprise to some and maybe not a surprise to some others, but we put him on the list mostly because we needed a number 10 spot, and this one was one of the longest ones ago. He lost his last World Championship at Road to WrestleMania last year at February 9th. He is Flames Dude 44, the former CEO and current Hall of Famer. Now, the reason we say maybe you didn't know it is because all he really does anymore is comments on the wall. He's inactive, he doesn't want to wrestle anymore, so he doesn't appear often. So that leads you to not acknowledge or know that he was indeed a 4-time world champion, including 2 RCWs and 2 world heavyweights. Coming in at number 9, I don't know why I felt like holding that for so long, is Viper RKO101. Now, yes, we do know that he was an incredibly impressive United States champion at 5 record times. He holds the record for the most European championships at 3. He's got tag teams, he's got Intercontinental, he's got Cruiserweight, he's got some of the most hardcores of anyone. But nobody can ever remember a time when he was world champion because it only happened once. And he did incredible things during that. He beat Ethan, JB6, winner of the King of the Ring. He beat Kids Rock 4, who is, Kids Rock 4, in his title reign, which only lasted 14 days at the 1st September 2013, just before the Night of Champions pay-per-view. Coming in at number 8, my apologies if this is a different camera angle. We did have someone come in here midway. It was almost finished, too. That made me depressed. So coming in at number 8 is Flame321. Now, yes, he does exactly seem like someone who could, would, and should be a world champion, just if you've ever fought him. But the thing is, not many people nowadays have fought him because he was active for a certain time period, was inactive for a long time period, and became active again in a different time period. And those were both short windows, both approximately about a month and a half. They were not big periods where he was active, so it's harder to see him as a world champion. But when he really is a 2-time world heavyweight champion for a month each. Coming in at number 7 is Ranger92. Now, the reason that you might not know that he was indeed a world champion is because it happened directly after the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. He held it for 2 weeks. During his first week, he was forced to defend against Eddie 9373 after he was handed the championship at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, but proved us all wrong, and all doubters aside, he did in fact defeat Eddie. The problem is, it was early on in the summer when a couple of people were on vacation, so less people would know from that, and it was only 2 weeks until he was cashed in on by Nesquik 1. Coming in at number 6 is Mr. Glirax, or Rad Randy Undertaker. Now, the reason that he's so forgotten as world champion is because it happened 393 days ago, and at Royal Rumble pay-per-view, it will be 400 days ago. He was an RCW champion, beating out Flame321 and Kids Rock 4 in a Raw WWE. I'm going to stretch the envelope and say Legends, just to make myself sound good. Hashtag famous. And again, sorry for the wrong camera angle. Again, we keep having interruptions. I really have to make the server for 2 people, but I'm recording this alone, so unless I'm going to make a 1-person server. Anyway, coming in at number 6 is Glirax with the RCW Championship almost 400 days ago. Coming in at number 5 this one is not going to come to so much surprise if you know that he was Mr. Money in the Bank. He cashed in his championship just 7 days before the King of the Ring pay-per-view, where he would lose it to Ethan. This is Quick 1. Mr. Money in the Bank, the second ever to win. Well, the second ever to win the case, and the first to win it for the World Heavyweight. He would cash in on Ranger 92, hold it for a week, go to the pay-per-view, and lose out to Ethan. And it lasted 7 days, so that could be to much surprise. A very headlining superstar, headlining WrestleMania. So many other great qualities to him, but just world champion is not the first that rings off. Coming in at number 4, this is where it's going to get both shocking to some that know him and what? To those that don't really know him, because it's Afraid Hacker. No, it's not Frayed Master, which was Hungry Sniperfish. It is Afraid Hacker, just for you that don't know him. He held the World Heavyweight Championship in October. I think it was October 7th. I don't know why I remember that specific detail. And he held it for 1 day. I know, guys, get jealous. World Heavyweight for 1 day. I believe he beat Raccoonia's second World Heavyweight Championship reign and lost to Flames Dude 44 the next day, and just 1 day title reign months and months and months, over a year ago. He comes in at number 4. Coming in at number 3, you probably know this guy because he still comes today. It's Childish Prophet, or Reborn Master, he was known when he won the Raw WWE Championship. Now, yes, he did defeat Mattis 3-2-0 for the championship and only lost it due to a vacation of the title, but it lasted about a week, so it's hard to remember that he was indeed a Raw WWE, or, in terms, World Champion. So that is Reborn Master, or Childish Prophet, coming in at number 3. Coming in at number 2. Now the shock factor of this, when I say it, really depends on what I say, or rather, who I say. Now, I could say it was Olgi Nigel or Craig Jacob, but we all know he was a Raw WWE Champion. The true thing that will shock you is that it was Ricky Green 1-2-3, the person who could not win a singles title, who couldn't win the World Heavyweight and couldn't win the Divas title, who turned out to be Olgi Nigel, but could win a world title. Now, what world title did he win? Well, he won the IWF. But kids, what is the IWF? Well, thank you, person who's right next to me and not actually me. Please don't kill me. The IWF Championship was much like the Raw WWE Championship, in the sense that it was a world title from another group brought into R.C.W. Now, of course, Raw WWE stood at 650 members, whereas IWF stood at 20, and we really learned our lesson about bringing in just random world titles for no reason. And, yeah, Ricky Green would only ever hold the title for 1 day, well, not even 1 day, half a day, and would lose the title later that night to our number 1 spot, coming right up next. Coming in at number 1, he's I'm not going to say hugely accomplished, but hugely admired, fairly decently accomplished, and is a Hall of Famer. But nowhere on his resume does it actually state that he was a world champion, because like I said, it was the IWF Championship. He is Spency 18. Everybody that ever was near him, and ever talked to him, and ever saw him inducted in the Hall of Fame, and ever saw his light blue avatar skin, loves that damn avatar. He's just too fabulous. The Spency chants roar wild on the retro episode of R.C.W. Raw, but nobody ever really acknowledged that he was a world champion, but now you know that Spency 18, the Hall of Famer, was indeed a world champion in the IWF Championship.
Thanks for watching this video and these eyes up here, ladies. If you want to see more videos like this and daily content, top 10s every week, and 2 on pay-per-view weekends, click subscribe.